Innovation to me can also be really close to what we're already doing nowadays and just improving. That's maybe the goal. And just some small tweaks, something that you can bring with you for lifelong is the mindset, is how can you cope with certain problems or ideas and how do you use that. Kind of the entrepreneur spirit, it lives within my blood, in my DNA, seeing all the different entrepreneurs.
Long time no see.
Yeah, long time no see.
Thank you very much for taking the time. Really appreciate it. I think your day is fully packed since I saw it on LinkedIn, your new promotion to head of acquisition. So congratulations on that. Pretty nice.
Thank you. Thank you.
Let's dive right into it so we make the most of your time. Sweet. Starting up with a warm-up question. Maybe you can describe your journey in your field of innovation, why you're there, and in the end, how you ended up at the Talent Insitute.
So now I'm actually indeed, my official title is Head of Partner Acquisition. And I am also manager of our in-company programs. On one side, as head of partner acquisition, is really looking how can we actually on the business development side scale as a team and also bring the company forward. And as manager of in-company programs, I'm really focused on one of our business lines and keep innovating and keep building the fundament. And then as a, let's say, a mini startup, a scale business and going really from 1 to 10. So yeah, it's a really nice job to have. I graduated we actually did the same master's. So a master entrepreneurship degree, which is really nice. I think it's a study that eventually, looking back, really fits me. So why do I say that? I think that already it's kind of the entrepreneur spirit. It lives within my blood, in my DNA. Seeing all the different entrepreneurs in my family, in my surroundings, and during that studies, it was really nice to also have a more, let's say, really an academic view on what is an entrepreneur, what is defined by some nature, nurture to become an entrepreneur. So based on that, I also think that it really itches for me to always be doing something entrepreneurial. Quite soon after my studies, I actually got contacts with the Talent Insitute. They back then had a growth hacking traineeship, which we still have actually, and it really appealed to me. So at first I was like, what is growth hacking? What is this all about? So this was back in 2017.
You mentioned in the beginning growth hacking and growth marketing, probably somehow interrelated with an innovator, with an entrepreneur. Maybe you can elaborate a little bit more about this, what it means to you.
That's a great question. So some call it growth hacking. Now some of these people are growth marketing. So I think what's nice as a growth hacker or growth marketeer, that you're having a mindset that already enables you to be, let's say, an entrepreneur or an intrapreneur. And for me, that's really important. So I think as an entrepreneur or an entrepreneur, you don't like to only think about stuff, but you also really like to build stuff. But for me, it's really the certain mindset that is behind growth hacking that is really related to a person I am and still aspire also continue to be. And that's what we also teach our talent. So we learn them, of course, all the different skills you have with growth marketing, which is really broad. It goes from, let's say, doing advertisement to building websites to optimizing, but also working with data analytics. That can be redundant, or some skills or tools can be not be used maybe in a couple of years anymore. But what sticks and is something that you can bring with you for lifelong is the mindset. Is how can you cope with certain problems or ideas, and how do you use that as on a strategy level, on a process level, but also in the long term.
You also mentioned redundancy of tools or skills or whatever it is in the end. Are you already like considering using like AI? Of course, it's like the new hot topic, ChatGPT. I think it is, especially in marketing, creating some content here and there. Are you already using it?
Yeah, definitely. So I think what's nice is let's say ChatGPT is one of the, of course, biggest tools and hypes and buzz now at the moment. I think that's only just the beginning of what's to come. But for us, it's really like, hey, how can we look at our current way of working and how can we implement this? Or what would be the potential impact be for us to actually maybe even accelerate our innovation for companies?
Now, you mentioned also like you are using these tools, testing ideas within companies, validating maybe a business idea within companies. Do you have maybe a specific example on how you do so?
Again, innovation can also be really a buzzword, but maybe boil it down a bit more. So what we are really good at and how we actually help our clients is not only thinking about the future or thinking about plans and strategies, but also relating it back to day one, today, what is something that we already can start doing now. So I mentioned already that we do a lot of experiments, and by experiments, I mean uncovering the need behind a certain solution. So really thinking about first the customer or the user. So we do a lot of interviewing with people because that gives us a lot of data about, hey, what's the problem that companies or clients of companies are facing? Let's say, for instance, a bank. How can we actually help them by, be prone to whatever's that's coming, but also relating it to by today's business and running those innovations. So sometimes it can really be an existing product or service. How can we help them improve them so that it's easier, for instance, for their customers to use it? Or we see maybe a bottleneck in the service where maybe design-wise it's not working, or leveraging marketing to actually scale the growth could be. But it could also be that we help them with, hey, I have 10,000 of different ideas. Which one is really relevant for us right now and easiest maybe to start with? And then we help them with identifying who should be their ideal customer be. How can we actually then, having found that customer, identify what their most, let's say, urgent 3 top problems are, and based on that, how can we then make a new solution that really fits their needs?
Nice, sounds good. So maybe I should have asked this question right from the beginning, more or less, where and when the Talent Institute is becoming active. Already for the exploration phase, is it for the exploitation phase, maybe when more or less the company already is having like a proper idea what's good, what's not good?
Yeah, I think the latter one. So eventually our goal is to make an impact on people, planet, and profit by having our front runners, our digital professionals. And what we actually then help is really with executing and using our digital skills, let's say, throughout the whole innovation and design funnel. So think about the lean starter process or the design thinking processes. Those are, let's say, the frameworks we work with, and then we actually help them by moving along the whole innovation funnel. So discover an idea, validating that idea in a market, and then also building new products and services. So that's really related also, I think, then to our core competences. So we also always operate in the innovation, the marketing, and the design domain. But when people think about innovation, they often think, oh, it's going to be innovation. It's AI and this and that. But innovation to me can also be really close to what we're already doing nowadays, and just improving. That's maybe the goal. So maybe put it more closer to my own situation. We also run a family. So my family runs a business in the hospitality industry. Really small, just maybe a company or a family business of 5 or 6 people. But even there, I even apply, let's say, innovation. So you don't need to hire really expensive an expert, but already from there, hey, how can we maybe improve certain elements in our day-to-day business? That could be how can we interact with people, or how do we actually give the best products or food to people, and just some small tweaks that can already be really innovative. In my opinion. So that's what I really like. It doesn't have to be really big, a business opportunity that should bring in millions and millions of euros or dollars.
You can give like a hands down case, which you were like, okay, we have to do this better. Like I saw it somewhere else, just to make it very specific.
Yeah. What do you mean by improving? Is it
maybe you saw a flawed process, maybe like in a very, like on a hands-down thingy, or you saw maybe the whole company is going in the wrong direction, and then a new business line has to pop up. So, and then maybe you, like the one moment or the one example where you were explaining the stakeholders, maybe to your family or to the stakeholders of the company, okay, this has to happen, or this would be nice because of.
Or maybe in general, or what I say also in our company. I think we have a big team of entrepreneurs and people who want to go forward, etc. And sometimes you get really excited about stuff and then you try a lot of stuff. But I think what is really important is focus. Because eventually, if you try to do a lot of stuff, it looks like it's everything is really, really relevant and can be made really relevant. But I think to really succeed and go forward is also sometimes take a moment to don't do anything, let's say, and reflect back and see, hey, what are we actually already doing? We're doing this and this and this and 10,000 different stuff, but we also need to be focused. So I think that is something really challenging if you're a type of person that really likes to try a lot of different stuff. As an entrepreneur, you're always in search for new stuff to do, but a potential risk is that you're not really focused. So I think that it's really important to also dare to double down on certain stuff, even though that there are some opportunities in reach. Sometimes it's good to maybe leave them hanging or not pick them up for now, and know that they're for a fact that they are there, but make sure that you double down on something that's really working and scale that first, and then maybe get some side tracks.
Yeah, absolutely. It's super interesting that you say so. I was just listening to a podcast where it was also about like really focusing, because there's so many businesses or like even entrepreneurs, single entrepreneurs doing like 5 businesses, 10 businesses at a time, making a little bit of money. But what would happen if like they spend all their effort or all their resource on this one idea they really like and really maximizing? So yeah, sounds good. Maybe regarding the time, I'm really wondering about your future vision, about you and the Talent Insitute, and entrepreneurship and the role of it in the future.
Looking back, I've never imagined that I would be sticking so long at this company. But I think that I'm still here because I really believe in the mission that we're going to. So really empowering the next digital talents, and also at the same time making an impact on what I said, the people, the planet, and the profits. Because we're still, of course, a for-profit organization, not an NGO, which is still important also. And why I'm still here is that it felt for me every year feels like a new job, and a new challenge arises. So for me, it doesn't feel like I have been sitting here for 5 or 6 years and doing the same thing over and over and over again. I think that the mission is still the same, and I really believe in that. And for me, I really get the opportunity to test a lot and continue to develop. So we invest a lot in our team, in our people, and that has, I think that's really something that's really important. I can really step up my game every day. I learn a lot from a lot of knowledgeable people around me, and we try to really keep innovating ourselves.
Yeah, Ken, thank you very much for your time. I would say let's wrap it up. I could talk to you for hours, I guess. So there could be many more episodes, I guess. But we have to find an end at one point. And just want to say thank you for your time. Really appreciate it.
Thank you for listening on my rambling for I don't know how long, an hour maybe. But it was really nice. Really cool that you're doing this.
Good stuff. Nice. Sounds good. Then I wish you a marvelous last day of the week, and a good weekend.
Yes, you too, Nico. And let's keep in touch.
Sounds good. Marvelous. Have a good one, Ken. Was fun.
All right. Bye-bye.